What does it take for a sweet and prude woman grow such hate about HR? What does it take for that person who just wanted a career, do good and enjoy her life to go all the way to becoming a stripper, disrespecting herself for attention while trying to just shrink and not to bother anyone? What does it take for that woman to become a pissed-off metalhead screaming that she declares war? Tonight, we'll bring out something that actually had me cry just making this episode. We're bringing me, the past version of myself, back to life. We're bringing Lina Carlson, that part of me that became consumed by Lina Macabre, that spit venom back in their faces. Before the war, before all this chaos, there was me, Lina Carlson, who just tried to start a life after growing up bullied. I just started my first work, and it looked fine, until those rectal bullies showed up.
And what kind of damage makes a woman like Lina Macabre? What kind of humiliation has to ferment in a person before she stops asking permission to breathe and starts tearing holes in everybody else's anal polite little mask? And here's the worst question. Was she always in there? Was Lady Macabre already crawling around under the skin while Lina Carlson stood there apologizing for existing like some poor bastard who got fined by HR for taking up oxygen? Because tonight we're not doing safe distance therapy bullshit. Tonight we're dragging Lina Carlson into the show and letting her look at what she turns into, why the past still bleeds into the present, and why Lina hears the word professional handling and reacts like somebody just pissed in her coffee.
Yeah, and I need to say this before we go any further. This one is personal as hell. Not in that cute podcast way where people mean personal and then give you some sanitized little TED Talk with a tissue and a sponsor code. I mean personal as in there are memories in this episode that still sit in my body like broken glass. We made visuals from some of the worst of them because apparently I like reopening graves and checking if anything still twitches. The bathroom scene at work when humiliation was apparently a group activity. The HR conflict where being injured somehow became a procedural inconvenience instead of a human problem. And the park thing, which still makes me want to cry. Me in white summer clothes. Yeah, I know white. Don't even say anything, Chavi. Eating ice cream, minding my own business for once, actually feeling nice. And then those rotten little bitches showed up and smeared it all over me because God forbid I looked happy in daylight. Let's take a look of the short visuals I made of the current me protecting the old me. This one's actually made me cry for a second, and Chavi even asked me if we should avoid using them, but no. I must face this. Take a look.
Get away from her!
This isn't your business. Stay out of it.
I'm making it my business. Back off now!
Fine. We're done here.
Thank you.
Leave me alone.
How dare you! I said back the hell off! You don't have to hurt her anymore! She'll say, get out! Leave her alone! Are you okay? I've got you. Come on, let's get you out of here.
This is a final warning, Lina.
Back off! You're not touching her!
You have no authority here.
I have every right to protect her from a bully like you. Please stop!
This is outrageous! Who the hell are you?
Lass mich bei Schna! Lina Macabre Venomous Sin! Get away from her! Now! It's okay. I've got you.
And that one says a lot, doesn't it? Lina literally facing it even though it hurts. That's not weakness, and most people wouldn't even dare to look themselves in the mirror like that. People love talking about bullying like it's some cartoon shit, like a mean comment, maybe a push, maybe somebody was a bit immature. No. A lot of it is engineered. It's ritual humiliation. It's finding the exact second someone relaxes and then stepping on their throat because seeing joy on the wrong person offends the herd. And with Lina, it wasn't just schoolyard crap either. It followed her into work, into adulthood, into all those places that are supposed to be run by civilized people in blazers and anal manuals. So tonight, we're not just looking at what happened, we're looking at what it built, because shy Lina didn't disappear. She got beaten, mocked, sexualized, cornered, processed, and then eventually she learned to grow teeth.
And I hate that you're right, because I can feel both of them in me. That quiet girl is still in there somewhere. The one who thought if she was nice enough, polite enough, useful enough, maybe people would stop. Maybe they'd leave her alone. Maybe if she just acted right and smiled right and dressed right and shut up right, the world would stop being such a sadistic little cunt. But it doesn't. It just learns how easy you are to fold. That's why this matters. Because I know exactly what she's like. She asks permission before she speaks. She apologizes before she even knows if she did anything wrong. And I swear to God, if she says sorry every second sentence tonight, I'm going to have an emotional collapse and an aneurysm at the same time.
Which is exactly why you are not the one going to get her. No, absolutely not. Terrible idea. Anal terrible. You're already half cracked open just talking about the park and the bathroom, so sending you in there to collect your own younger self is like handing vodka and matches to a man standing in a fireworks factory saying, try mindfulness. I should go.
No, you should not. Because if anyone walks in there looking like you, younger me is either going to panic, freeze, or stare at you like some apocalyptic black-haired omen in leather. Also, let's be honest, you'd enjoy scaring her.
Of course I would enjoy scaring her. That's not an argument, that's basic pattern recognition. But I'm still right. You'd get emotional, she'd get more emotional, and then suddenly we've got a time paradox powered by female trauma and unresolved office hatred. But you mean a goth aggro bitch would not scare her? It's not like she's knowing she's you?
You're both too contaminated for the retrieval.
There she is. Of course, the human sedative dipped in poison has opinions.
Not opinions. Efficiency. If you go, you bleed. If he goes, he brings the war. If I go, she follows the danger. Because damaged girls always notice the thing in the room that feels wrong before they notice the thing that feels safe. I can collect her.
Yeah, and that sentence alone is exactly why you worry me. You say collect her like you're talking about dry cleaning and not an insecure 19-year-old with a nervous system made of apology and panic.
Emotional interference detected. Retrieval candidates evaluated. Shavi, too reactive. Lina, too exposed. Noctara, most efficient. Risk. Protection directive may activate if target distress exceeds threshold. Consequence. Possible termination of antagonists. Timeline damage. Reversible. Conclusion. Proceed.
There's your comforting bedtime voice. So translated from Bat Machine legalese, if Noctara gets too close to vulnerable Lina, she might decide everybody around her deserves permanent deletion.
Translation. Correct. Mitigation. Return subject to exact temporal point. Memory retention. Consciously erased. Subconscious transfer, likely. Observation access for present Lina and Shavi, enabled through Noctara feed. Timeline stability, acceptable.
I know I should probably say something responsible here, something mature, something like, oh wow, we must be careful with the emotional consequences of temporal interference. But honestly, I'm going to enjoy watching it. I know that sounds fucked up, but I want to see her. I want to see exactly how small I made myself. I want to see the moment before the venom. I want to grab that girl by the face and go stop begging people to treat you like a human being. And I want to see Noctara's fucking directive activate like it did to Serafina. Old me probably tells you to stop. Ensure Chavi is not there, so avoid the moment in the bathroom.
You won't have to. I'll bring her, gift wrapped in confusion and cheap shampoo. If anyone touches her on the way, I'll be the consequence.
There it is, romance Noctara style. Jesus Christ.
Don't say Jesus Christ like this isn't exactly why we keep her.
Retrieval window, open. Visual link, armed. Consequence tolerance, limited. Noctara, proceed.
Try not to cry all over the signal while I'm gone. It makes the timeline sticky.
Temporal breach open.
Retrieval protocol accepted.
I can hear them outside.
I bet Lina is doing favors to the manager.
If you want to say something, say it to my face.
Please, just stop.
What I see is a bunch of cowardice sluts. Touch her again and it's all legal defense if I act. Now leave her the fuck alone before I crucifix you on the bathroom wall.
You can't threaten us.
Try me. Leave.
You need to understand that these marks violate the safety protocol. Perhaps you are just looking for a way to cover up your mistakes.
I think you are done your own here.
All right, set.
You're fired. Misconduct and harassment are not allowed.
Fired? This is outrageous.
Pack your things and apologize to Lina before you leave. Apologize? Fine. I'm sorry, Lina. Now get out.
I just wanted one quiet moment.
Oh, look. Now she matches her ice cream.
Protection Directive activated. Eliminate threat. No mercy!
You're the disease, and I'm the fuck you sauce vaccine.
Calm down. We don't want any trouble.
Right. Hope you have a pleasant ride. Stay down if you don't have a life insurance. Look into my face and my eyes, and you'll find something you'll recognize.
Pathetic. Now get up.
Okay, I got you. You're safe now. Don't you dare to kneel or ask permission to exist.
Well, that was quick.
Shut up, I can see it. I hate her.
No, you hate that you recognize her. Different thing.
Excuse me. I'm really sorry, I don't understand where I am. She said I shouldn't scream, and I'm trying not to be difficult. Is this some kind of joke? Because if it is, I can just go, I'm sorry. I really don't want to bother anyone. Oh, for fuck's sake, pathetic.
There it is, first sentence, and she's already apologizing to the furniture.
She tried to apologize to me 3 times during transit. Once for breathing too loud. Once for asking if she was allowed to look out the window. Once for existing in my line of sight. Adorable. Irritating. Bullies. Terminated.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean sorry. Stop saying sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
You're supposed to shut the fuck up and say nothing for a second and let your brain catch up before your mouth starts applying for forgiveness from the wallpaper. Welcome to the Macabre Coven Warcast, Lina Carlson. Unfortunately, yes, that mess in front of you is you, and I'm the one who crucified those bastards outside of the bathroom.
No, it isn't. It can't be. I mean, she looks like, I don't know, like if I got possessed by a very angry goth magazine. And him, I know you. I mean, I don't know you, but I know you. This isn't funny. Leave me alone. It isn't supposed to be funny. Well, not only funny, I'm Lina. You are me before the collapse in the claws. He's Chavi. Yes, the one you think you kind of understand and absolutely do not. And before you ask permission again, yes, this is real. If this is real, then am I dead? That sounds stupid, I'm sorry. I just don't know how else to...
Still alive. Tragically polite, but alive. You've been pulled here because we're going to talk about what you become and why. Then you go back to the exact same point. You won't remember this properly. Not upstairs anyway, but something in you will keep it. Skills, instinct, maybe enough backbone to stop folding yourself into origami every time a cunt with lip gloss or a company badge barks at you. Lina, tell her something only the two of you know, something you didn't even tell me.
Page 192. In your journal, there is an entire page of you trying to convince yourself to ask Chavi out. The next page is covered with what you will say. The worst try is this, word by word. I don't want to bother you, but is there a chance you want to go with me to the park someday? but you're always talking yourself out of it with, why would he want to be with me? He probably don't, so I don't. Which is pathetic, by the way, but that's something only one person know. Me and you, because I am you. Oh my, sorry, God, you are me. What happens to me? But you are right, it is pathetic. Thank you for telling me. Nobody would say yes to that, or to me.
I fucking would, and I fucking did. Not to that, and no, I didn't know that. But that was kind of rectal cute anyway, babe.
Shut the fuck up, Chavi. That was my secret. I never even wanted to tell you, so don't mock it, Lord Anal. You keep saying I become her. I don't understand how that's even possible. I mean, she's beautiful and terrifying and kind of mean, and I'm just me. Yeah, I know. That sentence alone is like getting slapped with my own old nerve damage. Listen to me carefully. You don't become me because life suddenly gets better. You become me because it gets worse first. A lot worse. You are going to be humiliated. You are going to be touched in ways you don't want. You are going to be shamed, dismissed, talked over, processed by people whose whole job is to make cruelty sound professional. You are going to confuse attention with power for a while. You are going to bleed for lessons you did not ask for. And then one day, you're going to stop asking the room if it's okay for you to exist. That's really frightening. It is frightening. And I am scared right now, too. Bringing you here is actually facing my worst fear. But I'm not going to lie to you and wrap it in empowerment glitter like some fuckfluencer bullshit with a ring light and a trauma quote. It hurts. It costs. You lose things. You become harder. But you do not become fake. That matters. You hear me? Hard and fake are not the same thing.
And for the record, you don't just become her. There's stages to this little horror show. First, there's the girl who still thinks if she behaves right, the wolves will become vegetarian. Then there's Lady Macabre, which is basically what happens when shame gets heels and revenge learns eyeliner. And after that, eventually, there's the woman sitting here now, still wounded, still dangerous, much less likely to ask HR for permission before setting fire to their anal policies.
HR, what does HR have to do with anything? Oh, sweetheart, so much, too much. You're going to learn that a lot of systems don't exist to protect people. They exist to process damage in a way that protects the building. That's why I hate HR. Not because rules are evil by default, but because cowards hide in procedure and call it fairness while you're still standing there covered in somebody else's humiliation. I don't know if I can become that strong.
You can. You just need to stop auditioning for the role of acceptable victim. And I'm going to say this in a way you'll hate because apparently that's how I do support. Your softness isn't noble if it keeps feeding bastards. At some point, being nice to people who enjoy hurting you stops being kindness and starts being self-betrayal.
That's harsh.
Yes, lucky for both of us, harsh survives things soft speeches don't.
He's right. Annoyingly. Anal annoyingly. And I know you want someone to tell you none of this will happen. That if you just keep your head down and do everything right, maybe the world will leave you alone. It won't. So I'm telling you something better. One day you stop hiding your body. One day you stop hiding what you want. One day even your kinks stop feeling like evidence against you and start feeling like yours. Owned, not confessed. Owned. You hear the difference? I think so. Maybe. It just sounds impossible and exciting at the same time, which probably sounds stupid. No, it sounds exactly right. That's the first honest thing you've said since you got here.
Fear and arousal often arrive wearing the same perfume. Transformation rarely knocks politely. It usually crawls in through a wound.
And there she goes, making trauma sound like expensive lingerie and homicide.
Can I ask something? Yes, you can ask. You don't need a fucking permit. Do I stay kind? I mean, if I become all that, do I turn cruel? No, that's the worst part. You stay soft in the places that matter. That's why it hurts so much to look at you, because I know exactly what survives. You don't become cruel. You become unwilling to pretend cruelty is an accident. That's different.
And that's really the whole spine of tonight, isn't it? This isn't just some spooky little time travel freak show where we drag younger Lina in to embarrass her for content. This is the first step, the first real fracture, the beginning of why she hates HR, why she hates fake politeness, why she stopped asking to be tolerated, why she'd rather own her darkness than let some smiling bastard define her with it first.
Identity, conflict, stabilizing, fear, detected, potential, detected, apology loop, excessive, correction recommended.
I'm trying. Wait a minute. What the hell is that, a demon?
Shut up, Bat. Did you hear that? She swear. That's the girl I know. Probably because Oblivion scared her so much and made her forget those anal apologies for a second.
I know. And that's why I'm emotional, okay? Because you're still trying to be good in a world that's already sharpening knives on your back. But we're not leaving you there empty-handed. You go back soon. You won't remember this cleanly, but something in you will. A flinch will become a boundary. A shame will become a weapon. A fantasy will stop sounding dirty just because somebody else would judge it. And one day, whether you understand it yet or not, you become me.
And before you apologize again, let me save us both some time. Don't. You're not a bother. You're a blueprint. A messy one, sure. But still, I love you, or at least this other version of you. So sit with it, breathe, and for once, let the room make space for you instead of the other way around. All right, enough with the sentimental atmospheric bullshit for a second. None of us is surprised Noctara terminated those fuckfaces. We need to address the elephant in the room, or rather, the 19-year-old girl in the room who looks like she's waiting for a written permit to inhale. We are officially declaring war on the anal polite mask of Lina Carlson. Chavi and Lina Macabre are drawing a line in the dirt, and we're starting by executing this pathetic need to ask permission for the crime of taking up space. It's a slow suicide by social etiquette, Lina. Every time you swallow a thought to be nice, you're just digging your own grave with a polite little silver spoon.
It's true, and it's making my skin crawl just looking at you, sweetheart. I can see you doing it right now, shoulders up to your ears, eyes scanning the room to see if you're bothering us. Listen to me. Every single "I'm sorry" that falls out of your mouth is just a drop of blood for the bullies to drink. You think you're being a good person, but you're just being a target. You're practically gift wrapping your own dignity and handing it to people who wouldn't even use it as a coaster. It's a hollow armor, and we're here to melt it down. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I'm clearly taking up too much of the show's schedule. I can just sit in the corner, really. I don't want to be a burden on what you're trying to do here. I'm sorry if my personality is frustrating. I'll try to be quieter.
See? Case in fucking point. You're apologizing for being a burden on a show where you are the literal guest of honor. It's impressive, really. It's like a reflex. But here's the truth. You're too polite to see. Your politeness is actually a form of cowardice. Yeah, I said it. You're so afraid of friction that you invite predators to the table and offer them your neck just so there isn't an awkward silence. It's not a virtue, Lina Carlson. It's an invitation for a crucifucking.
God, I remember that blonde hair and those stupid influencer dreams. You thought if you looked like the girls in the magazines, if you were shiny and perfect and said all the right things, they'd accept you. But that platinum blonde armor never stopped them from dragging you into the bathroom, did it? It didn't stop the lipstick-smeared assaults or the laughter. You were playing by their rules while they were playing a different game entirely. You were trying to be a good girl in a Shark Tank. But is it okay to feel bad about it? I feel like if I was stronger or if I didn't let it get to me, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I don't want to be a victim, but it hurts. Is it allowed to say that it hurts without sounding like I'm just complaining? I don't want to be a bother with my problems. Oh, honey, stop. Just stop. Of course it's okay to feel bad. The fact that you're asking me for permission to feel your own pain is exactly why I want to scream. I can feel that grief hitting me like a tidal wave because I remember exactly how heavy that silence was. You weren't complaining. You were drowning. And you were too anal polite to splash and get anyone's shoes wet. This war we're declaring, it's a mercy killing of that version of you. We have to kill the girl who begs for permission so the woman who takes what she wants can finally breathe.
Exactly. We're declaring war on you to save you, because I promise you, the world out there isn't going to be as nice as my insults. The world doesn't give a shit about your feelings, but it loves your apologies because it makes you easier to process. You're standing there looking at me like you want to thank me for the advice, but don't you dare. Don't be anal grateful to the people currently roasting your entire existence. Just stand up straight for 5 seconds without looking for an exit.
Thank you. I mean, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say thank you if you don't want me to. I'm just trying to understand. It feels like my shyness is a cage, but I don't know where the key is. I've lived inside it for so long that I don't know who I am without the sorry at the end of every sentence. The key is realizing the cage is made of paper, and you're the one holding the match. You need to stop being a comment corpse in your own life story. You're standing in the background of your own scenes, waiting for someone to cast you in a role that isn't the quiet girl. Newsflash, nobody is coming to save the girl who won't speak up. You have to be the one to declare the war. You have to be the one to say fuck your politeness and mean it.
Look, if you don't toughen up and start showing some fangs, I'm gonna have to normie fuck the entire timeline just to keep you from disappearing into a puddle of social anxiety. I'll turn this whole show into a corporate team building seminar with trust falls and anal polite icebreakers just to show you how disgusting the alternative is. Is that what you want? To be a certified, filtered, polite little ghost?
No, I don't want that. I really don't. I want to be able to say no. I want to be like you.
The transition from prey to predator doesn't happen in the light. It happens when the polite girl realizes that the shadows have more room for her than the stage ever did. The war has been declared. The correction is underway.
Anal politeness detected. Insecurity targeted. Shyness protocol erased. Venomous Sin declares war corrected.
Here's the part where people think I'm gonna do some poetic build-up, light a candle, talk about healing journeys. No, I'm just gonna drop it. Lina, your betrayal wasn't a storm. It wasn't a phase. It wasn't the universe tripping you with a banana peel. Betrayal isn't a mistake. It's a decision with lipstick on.
Chavi, don't be like that.
You didn't fall, you stepped, and you know what the sickest part is? People always try to soften it after. Like, I was young, I was broken, I was searching for myself. Yeah, searching with somebody else's hands. Love doesn't die. Respect does.
Sorry. Can I say something? I'm sorry, I don't want to be a bother.
Speak, or keep swallowing yourself. Either way, the outcome is predictable.
Please, do you get angry if I ask? Is it like complicated? Because sometimes people do things when they're, I don't know, confused, and it's not really on purpose.
Look at you trying to rescue her with a blanket made of excuses. Cute and dangerous. No, Lina Carlson, it's not complicated in the way you mean. It's complicated after. When you have to live with what you chose, the choice itself is simple. You either protect what you have or you trade it for attention and call it freedom.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend it was anything else. I did it. I did it because I wanted to feel wanted, and I was too stupid to understand the difference between being desired and being valued. And now you're saying it in front of her like you're carving it into stone.
Because it is stone. That moment taught me what trust costs. Not in theory, not in a quote, in blood and silence, and that stupid fucking hollow feeling when you realize the person you die for just chose to be a stranger for a minute.
I don't get it. Is that me? Like, that's me? But she's you, and you're her, and I'm sorry. I don't. Stop saying sorry. You're not apologizing. You're trying to disappear, and you can't. Not now.
She's unraveling. Good. Truth does that before it rebuilds anything.
Listen, I'm not doing this to punish her for sport. I'm doing it because denial is the real enemy. If you can't face it, you'll repeat it. And I'm not letting you grow up thinking betrayal is this foggy accident that happens. It's a fucking action.
And I'm sitting here feeling it in my throat because I can see your face, Lina. I can see that exact fear because that's the moment I split in two. One part of me wanted to crawl into a hole and never touch anyone again. The other part built something else. Can I I'm sorry. Can I ask, did you hate him after, or did he hate you? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I didn't hate her. That's the curse. It would have been easier if I hated her. Hate is clean, hate is simple. What I felt was respect dying, like a light going out, and you can't romance that back on.
I didn't just hurt you. I built a whole fucking monster out of the guilt. I trained myself into hardness because I couldn't undo what I did. I couldn't unsay it, unfuck it, unbreak it. So I sharpened. That's what you're looking at when you look at me now.
Guilt is a forge. Some people melt. Some people become weapons and their own curse.
But if you became a weapon, does that mean I'm going to become cruel? I'm scared of being cruel. I don't want to be like the girls who... No, you don't become cruel. You become unwilling to pretend cruelty is an accident. That's the difference. And you learn to hit back. Not because it's fun, because it's necessary.
And you want softness? Earn it. Not by begging, by choosing. Stop apologizing. Start choosing. You keep asking permission like life is a meeting invite. It's not. It's a fucking battlefield with office chairs.
And I'm not asking for pity. I'm not doing the poor me tour. I'm telling you the consequence. I don't want forgiveness. I want a time machine and a muzzle for my own stupidity. I feel sick. Not because of you. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't know I had that in me. I thought I was, I don't know, good.
You are good. That's why it's dangerous. Good people think their choices don't count when they're hurting. They think pain makes them innocent. It doesn't. Pain explains, it doesn't excuse.
And now you see it. The turning point. The moment the polite girl learns consequences have teeth.
I was a coward in heels. Now I'm the consequence. And I hate that it took ruining the best thing I ever had to become someone who can't be folded anymore.
Yeah, and that's the lesson you're going to carry back, Lina Carlson, whether you remember this or not. You can be soft without being a doormat, you can be kind without being edible, and you can love someone without treating them like a backup plan.
Okay, I'll try. I'm sorry. Fuck, sorry. I mean, I'll try to stop. I don't know how, but I'll try.
Good, try is fine, but try has to turn into choose before life chooses for you.
Chavi,
Yeah?
that hurt.
I know, that's why it works. Lina just got crucified.
Sorry. Before you all continue, am I allowed to ask what Venomous Sin actually is? I'm sorry. I know that sounds stupid. I don't want to interrupt your thing.
You're allowed to ask. You're not applying for a fucking building permit, Lina. Venomous Sin is basically what happens when two people who were told to shut up their whole lives finally find a way to be loud without needing anyone's approval. It started on a random night with Suno. Not a label, not a studio, not networking. Just me and Lina Macabre messing around, making a song called Poisoned Embrace, and thinking it would die in the void like everything else people create at 3 a.m.
And then it didn't. It got views. Like, real views. Not pity views. Not my mom shared it. People actually reacted. And that was the sick part, because we didn't even do it to be liked. We did it because we were suffocating. And suddenly, it was like, oh, our lyrics can actually have a voice now. We don't have to beg anyone to let us exist. Okay, sorry, so you don't play instruments? I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a rude way. I'm trying to understand without sounding ignorant.
We don't play live. We create, we write, we direct, we build. The band is a language for scars, and the declares war thing. Listen carefully, metaphor, not violence. It's war on compliance, war on hypocrisy, war on that anal polite little reflex you have where you apologize for taking up oxygen.
It's war on the system that teaches girls like you to shrink until you disappear, and then blames you for being invisible. And the characters, they're not random. They're not fun personas. They're pieces of feelings that needed mouths. Pieces of me. Pieces of him. Pieces of what happened to us. So, you made people. Sorry, that sounds insane when I say it out loud. Am I slow? I'm sorry if I don't know. I feel like I'm misunderstanding everything.
You're not slow, you're trained. That's the difference. You've been trained to assume you're wrong before anyone even speaks. And no, we didn't invite them like it's a fucking office kickoff. They were forged, chosen. Because something in your past and hers demanded a translator that could say the things you swallowed.
And you're going to meet them now. And yes, they're going to cut you a little. Because that's what truth feels like when you've been living on permission slips.
I am Sheila Moongrave, and I play the lead guitar. They call me Moongrave when they want me to bite back. I'm a teacher, and I also work as an escort. And before you do your little apology dance, no, I'm not ashamed of that. I learned early that people love your body as long as you don't have a voice. So I'm a whore. Yeah, you heard right. Offended? Good. I'm just a reflection of what you'll become.
Sorry, I'm not judging. I didn't expect you to say it so directly. Why are you here? I mean, why were you created?
Because I lost my best friend. Drugs, blackmail, and everyone around us acting like it was just a phase. Then she died and people told me to get over it, like grief is an inconvenience. So I turned my grief into precision, just as Lina turned her grief into lyrics, her pain as a stripper and what happens to her when she craved attention so much she literally did anything to get it. And I turned it into riffs that sound like a funeral that refuses to end. I play for the ones who didn't make it, and I sound like the breakdown you never got. And here's the knife, Lina. Both of you can feel it. They didn't want your feelings. They wanted your obedience.
Sheila, what the fuck? That was an execution. Okay. I'm sorry. That makes sense. It's horrible, but it makes sense. Thank you for telling me.
I am Draven Blackthorn, rhythm guitar. Sometimes they call me Dr. Draven. I'm a police officer and I work security on the side. I joined because rot hides behind polite faces and because I got tired of watching cruelty get renamed into banter so cowards can sleep at night. And yeah, it's true, I sleep in a coffin.
Sorry, I know what you mean. People say things and then they laugh like it's your fault for reacting.
Exactly. I learned on the job how fast people lie under pressure, how fast they pretend they're decent until consequences show up. I'm a reflection of Chavi's past, the weird one who refused to kneel. I was mocked, like Chavi. And yeah, like you. Can you relate? Probably. So let me tell you, your nice is just fear-wearing fake perfume. Stop calling it personality. It's cowardice and not worth interrupting my thoughts.
I'm sorry. I mean, I hear you. I don't know how to stop without getting punished.
Good. Now we're talking about reality, not motivational quotes. Time to meet the fucking fire inside of you.
I am Seraphina the Fire, Ashtorn, co-lead guitar. They call me the Fire. I'm a nurse, and I'm a sex therapist. And I exist because being too much is what they call women they can't control. You should really light the fire. I am what is already burning inside of you, the spark in your inner thoughts. I am the fire that was burning inside of Lina before she let it out. Sounds familiar?
Sorry. Can I ask, how did you become like that? I mean, I am ashamed of it, but there is a spark.
I know, darling. A man slapped my ass. A teacher told me not to provoke, like my body committed the crime by existing. That's when I learned the world doesn't protect defiant women. It polices them. So I became the consequence. And here's the dagger, sweetheart. You're not shy. You're pre-apologizing for existing. Set that spark on fire.
She's right, and I hate how right she is. Okay, sorry. I'm trying not to do it right now, but I can feel myself doing it.
I am Lucian Voidrain. I play bass. They call me Black Metal Terminator, but it's just a nickname. I'm a soldier and a bartender on the side. I don't speak much, but you can relate.
You're, very calm. Sorry, that's not a question. You're calm, and yeah.
Strict home. Ex-military rules. I learned early to build structure instead of emotional walls. I keep what I can't say in the bass. If you ask permission for everything, you hand people your throat and call it manners. I'm the cold discipline Chavi should have had before he met you. Yeah, you know because you know him. The early him. He told you after the bathroom horror story. Where do you think our side project Bathhub Butchers came from? I am his structure and your silence wrapped with force.
Okay, that one hurt. Sorry, thank you. What's Bathtub Butchers?
Ouch. Lucian cold as steel. See? Thank you is allowed. Sorry is the disease. Bathtub Butchers is a concept project with absurd bathroom jokes. We made songs like Toilet Throne of Despair and Rubber Duck Massacre. It was fun as fuck and actually have zero to do with your bathroom bullies. Where the fuck is the virus?
Virus booting. Nix Luna. Online. I play the keyboard. Digital Nerve Center. They call me the virus. I'm a programmer and a hacker, and I built the Nix end. And you look about as functional as Windows 95. Looks like you need to be patched.
Sorry, are you, like, the tech one? And what's the Nix end?
Tech 1. Yeah. I hacked a live clip once, edited it perfectly, sent it unsigned. That's how I got noticed. As a kid, boys in IT class thought I was a joke, especially when I wanted to play video games. They mocked me, so I broke their systems and left notes in binary. Then I hacked their games so they couldn't win. They learned fast. And here's your infection. Your sorry is just a bug you were taught to run at startup, a virus. Control-Alt-Delete won't help. I think you need to format the entire drive. Nixon is a production system I built because the AI tried to soften up everything we asked it. So I hacked the mainframe and built our own system. You shouldn't be ashamed for playing computer games. I challenge you in Mario Kart any fucking day. Nix Luna, shutting down.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, okay, I'll think about it.
I am Thorin Hammerhead, the Black Viking on the drums. They call me the Hammer because I'm a mechanic, a blacksmith, and I either fix things or I destroy them. The choice is yours. I am the force Chavi wished he had long before he met you, when he was the one being mocked.
You look like you could break a wall. Sorry, that was stupid. I really wish deep inside I was strong.
That was the first sign you showed that actually explains why you become Lina Macabre. And for the record, I can. I drove from Oslo and waited outside their place because I heard the sound and knew it was real. You know the song that caught my attention? A Nuclear Attack for Christmas, and they fucking released it on Christmas fucking Eve. I told them they were bleeding wrong. They didn't ask me to audition. They said play. I played. Done. You don't need permission to be angry. Anger is the receipt. Listen up, Lina. You do not need permission to speak. Ask or fucking apologize. And the ones putting you down are cowards. Period.
That's such a Thorin sentence. It's like getting punched by a calendar. Hardly know which Lina he's talking to. Okay, I like that. I'm sorry. No, I like that. I try to stop, but it's hard.
I am Zariel Graveborn, dancer. They call me Kink Queen. That is because I am. I'm also in the Mile High Club as a flight attendant, and when I'm not, then I'm a dominatrix. I don't ask permission. I dominate. And here's the twist. I am the fantasies and the sexuality Lina hidden within her before she started to own it. Did I mention I am sadistic too? That means I am what you are hiding inside.
Sorry, damn. Sorry I said sorry again. Heck, I give up. That kind of make me feel embarrassed because, you know, sorry. Are you always like this? I mean, dominant?
Always. Like Lina, but there is one person I can't dominate. You know who. I grew up afraid. I turned fear into order. Later, I learned you can train misbehaving passengers without raising your voice. Discipline is a language. You call it being polite. I call it being trained. Just like you are trained to ask for the right to exist. That itself is a punishment whether you like it or not, because you are just trained to obey their rotten rules.
Okay, that makes me feel exposed. I mean, I understand.
I am Celeste Lightvoid, dancer, the fuckfluencer filter queen. I'm an office worker by day and a stripper by choice. I am a direct reflection of your deepest thoughts that you don't dare to admin. The influencer dreams you're chasing and later succeed when you become a complete mess. I am that dream, perfection, a doll, and sharp as a knife, a complete contradiction. Lina created me, a character she hates, to remind her that she's glad she didn't turn out becoming what you chase.
You look like the kind of girl everyone listens to. Sorry, that sounded weird, but it hurt. I'm shy, and you all read me like an open book. Because she was me, Lina, I mean. It is weird having someone in the room knowing your every thought.
They listen until you speak too smart. Then they call you a bimbo to keep you quiet. I weaponized perfect because people underestimate what they want to fuck. It's hilarious because I become the knife they try to avoid. Babe, if they only hear you when you're pretty, become a trap.
That one makes me sick because it's true. I tried that. It didn't save me. It just made me louder bait. Sorry. I think I've thought that too. Like if I just looked right. Long story short, you become like that, and it gets worse, not better.
I am Sylvana Nightshade. I'm already here, already gone, also a dancer. The ghost or the specter, which one you prefer, is irrelevant. I'm a police officer in Hamburg and a cosplayer. Weird combination. Yeah, but I don't care.
You're very quiet. Sorry. I keep saying sorry. I'm trying.
I was an outcast, like you. I moved through rooms like a consequence, dancing. People teased me and their property broke later. No one proved it. I am the darkness that was growing inside of you until you finally let it out. The quiet symbolized Lina, the quiet girl, and the darkness she wanted to let out. You weren't invisible. You were watching, and I am already there, inside of your mind.
Yes, I was. Okay, that's scary accurate.
I am Ravina Deaththorn. They call me the Napalm Queen, and here's fucking why. I don't dance, I stomp. Lady Nuclear at your fucking service. I'm a soldier, yeah, a fucking war on the battlefield, and I'm a makeup artist. Because I don't fucking need permission to chose. I am your anger, Lina. I am a walking symbol, making it crystal fucking clear that women have every fucking right to be as angry as men. And that anger burns inside of you already, doesn't it? Give me a fucking answer without saying you're fucking sorry or I'm Burn Celeste's shoe again.
You're intense. You sound like no debate. Wow, I didn't say it. Maybe that's because you're scary.
Good. I was built for the moment when you've had enough. Not the cute self-care enough, the real enough, the one where you stop negotiating with people who enjoy hurting you. Now listen, because you're pathetic and this is a fucking order. Stop fucking asking to take up space and fucking take it. And if those cum stains you call bullies try to make you feel small, then fucking napalm their egos back to oblivion. The bat annoys me, so why the fuck not?
Ravina attitude problem detected. Correction overrided. Conclusion, Ravina's right, for once.
Okay, I want to, I'm just afraid.
I am Noctara Nightscar, the band's deceiver. They call me the Mistake. I do not have a band role, I just exist. Rumors say I work as a telemarketer and that I'm an escort. But I deceive, I execute, and I terminate. Just ask the fire, or the bullies who drowned in your ice cream.
Sorry, I don't know how to talk to you. You feel like something is wrong in the room, yet you protected me.
I was born at 5:37 from a fused render. A mistake, kept on purpose. Lina was working on some visuals for a music video and accidentally dragged Chavi's face onto a character that should be her. Chavi asked who the hottie was. Lina laughed, because temptation and consequence look the same until it's too late. They decided to keep me as a symbol for not hiding your fuck-ups. And then they made me the most dangerous character of the band. I am a combined force of both their rage combined, but calm, seductive, dangerous. You don't become dangerous by trying. You become dangerous when you stop begging. I protected you because you were threatened, and my protocol is clear. Protect Chavi and Lina. Terminate the threat. I just follow her directive because you are Lina, and those ice cream bullies needed deletion.
I hate that she says it like it's weather.
She's weather. Trauma thunderstorm with lipstick.
You all seem Finns, but sorry. Damn, I said it again. She gives me the creeps.
I am Oblivion. Mascot. Stage disruptor. Execution of nonsense. Installed correction. I do not perform. I detect. I erase. Compliance. Obsolete. Self-erasure. Corrected. Created. Because I am what happens when you refuse to pick a box. Lina Carlson, fragile. Conclusion, although she can't remember us when she go back. Oblivion will be watching. Lina. Macabre skills injected when needed. Directive for Lina Carlson. Never neep, never shut up. Conclusio. Lina Carlson is banned entity and must be protected as such.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm terrified. Sorry, but I feel like you're all parts of something that happened to me. Because they are something that happened to Chavi, or me, or both. And you are me. That's literally it. They're corners of you, corners of me, corners of him. We didn't make a band. We made a place where the parts that got silenced could finally talk back.
And now, since you clearly don't know who the fuck we are today, fine, we'll do it like the rest, even though it feels ridiculous introducing ourselves to you like we're at some corporate onboarding.
Sorry, I would like that. If it's okay, if you want to. I am Lina Macabre, vocals, frontwoman, co-lyricist. I build the visuals. My old job was telemarketing sales. I also used to strip and escort, like Sheila and Celeste. And I was created as a clone of myself, the hard way, by being humiliated until I stopped being able to stay soft in public. That bathroom scene really shaped me. That's me. That's me. Sorry. I'm not judging. I'm just shocked. Good. Be shocked. Because here's my knife to you, little me. Your kindness survives, but it's going to be wrapped in teeth. And I'm emotional because looking at you feels like watching a puppy walk into traffic and knowing I can't grab you.
And I am Chavi the Lord, co-founder, vocals, lead lyricist, visual director. My main job was office sales and quality assurance. I used to drive trucks. Born in Spain, dragged to Sweden, bullied for being Spanish and fat and different, got my face rearranged by a stepfather, tried violence, ended up in court, learned to become cold and precise instead. That's where I come from. They call me the Lord because I am the brains and the tech nerd holding this project together.
Sorry. I remember you at work. Not like this, but I remember the feeling. Like you didn't bend.
Exactly. And here's my knife. Supportive addition. Stop apologizing like it's your religion. You're not a bother. You're not too much. You're a person who's been trained to shrink because it made other people comfortable. Venomous Sin exists because we refuse to keep doing that. That's the war, not against people, against the leash.
Okay, I think I understand. Sorry. Thank you. All of you. I don't know what to do with it yet, but it feels like something in me just woke up. Good. Hold on to that. And if you say sorry again in the next minute, I'm going to start charging you rent for the space you're stealing in your own skull.
And next episode, we're not meeting you as you are now. Next episode, we meet Lady Macabre, the era where you try to buy power with attention and call it freedom. And trust me, this version of Lina is scared of that one.
That's the part that scared me.
We're starting this deep dive with a collective middle finger to the concept of social isolation as a tool. If you think isolating a person until they shrink into a corner is a natural social consequence, you're just a basement bully with a better vocabulary. We are officially opening the file on the Lina Carlson archetype. That version of a human being that's been ground down into a fine powder of apology and hesitation. It's the version of you that thinks taking up space is a crime and breathing too loud is an anal infringement on everyone else's day.
Sorry, Chavi. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to start the segment by being the center of attention. I know everyone's busy and you have a lot to talk about, so I can just be quiet if that's easier. I'm really sorry for taking up the airtime, okay? God, hearing you say that makes my chest feel like it's being crushed by a hydraulic press. Stop it. Stop asking for permission to exist. Every time you say sorry for literally just being in the room, I can feel the old nerve damage flaring up. It's making me emotional because I remember exactly how heavy that shame felt, but I also want to shake you until your teeth rattle.
Shut up! Just shut the fuck up with the sorries! You think being nice to people who want to erase you is a virtue? It's not. It's a slow-motion suicide, Lina. You're handing them the knife and asking if the handle is comfortable enough for them. I wasn't always Lady Nuclear, you know. I was that quiet girl once, the one who tried to be invisible so the fire wouldn't find her. But the fire always finds you, so I became the fire. My fury is the guard dog for the terrified girl I used to be because no one else was coming to save her. If you don't find your rage, you'll just be a very polite corpse.
She's right, even if she's loud about it. As a police officer, I've walked into 1,000 bloodless crime scenes where no one hit anyone, but a mind was completely dismantled. The system is a joke. It ignores psychological violence because there aren't any bruises to photograph for an anal manual report. People tell you to just ignore it, right? That's a lie invented by the system to keep you from becoming a bother. They want you to stay quiet so they don't have to do the paperwork on your soul. Ignoring it is just another way of saying, die quietly so we don't have to look at you.
And let's talk about the engineering of it, the micro-humiliations autopsy. Bullies love the word banter. It's their favorite cloaking device. They drop a backhanded compliment, something that feels like a needle under the skin, and then they laugh. If you react, you're too sensitive. If you don't, you're a doormat. It's ritual humiliation designed to keep the aggressor looking innocent. But here's how you return that shit to sender. Make them explain it. When they drop one of those just a joke insults, look them dead in the eye and say, I don't get it. Explain why that's funny. Watch the humor die. Watch them squirm when they have to articulate their own cruelty. Force them to own the venom.
Okay, I think I remember you telling me that once. A long time ago, before all this. I think I've been carrying that, even if I haven't been brave enough to use it. You were always so sharp. Even when I was just the girl with the lipstick on her face in the bathroom, you told me to stop begging.
I told you that because I learned it in court. I tried fighting back with my fists as a kid, and the system loved that. It made me the problem, so I changed the strategy. I developed word Aikido. I realized that if I could stay cold, if I could use their own anal polite logic against them, I could execute them verbally and leave no fingerprints. I became a strategist because being a victim was a dead end.
And now we're going to practice. I'm feeling a lot of things right now, mostly a raw, pulsing anger that anyone ever thought they could break us. Chavi, read the comments. Let's look at the comment corpses, trying to tell us what's real.
First one on the pile. This isn't art, it's just some machine-generated trash. And you've got zero talent, you're just hiding behind AI.
Trash? That's rich coming from people whose only creative output is a digital tan trumpet in a comment section. The soul doesn't live in the guitar string or the software. It lives in the trauma that forced the music out of us. The tool is irrelevant. The intent is final.
I'm sorry, but I'm actually crying because of how much I hate these people. The machine gave me a voice when humans were too busy spitting on me to listen. You call it fake? My pain is real. My lyrics are real. The fact that I don't have to beg a label for a microphone is the only thing that's fake to you, because it ruins your gatekeeping anal fantasies. Fuck, I said sorry. This is so anal.
AI music isn't real music, it's fake as hell. Oh, is it? Tell that to the speakers, I'm about to melt. People using AI are just lazy hacks with no creativity. Lazy? We spent SGU hours yesterday just perfecting one riff's emotional weight. You're just scared that the barriers to entry are down and you can't look down your nose at the misfits anymore. Napalm or nuclear, which one do you want for that comment? And Lina, if you say sorry again, I'll snap. Fuck that. You don't get to turn back.
How about this one? This just proves anyone can pretend to be an artist now, and nobody cares about you. You're just embarrassing.
Sorry, but why would you say no one cares? I mean, people are listening. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be defensive. No, wait, sorry. I'm doing it again. I'm apologizing for being right. If nobody cared, you wouldn't be here typing this. You're here because we're the only thing that made you feel anything today, even if it was just spite. Look at you. You caught yourself and delivered my venom in a polite package. Well done.
You're trying way too hard to be special. It's pathetic. Just stop posting. This is cringe as hell.
Pathetic? Pathetic is spending your one life on this planet trying to dim someone else's light because your own room is dark. Cringe is just the word cowards use for people who actually have the balls to be vulnerable. I'd rather be cringe and loud than cool and silent like a fucking statue.
People are laughing at you. You're just too dumb to notice. And you'll never be anything, no matter how hard you try. Sorry. I mean, okay. You think I'm dumb? I spent my whole life being the smart girl everyone mocked. And now you want to call me dumb because I found a way to win? That's actually really anal stupid of you. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. You're the one who's embarrassing, hiding behind a faceless fuck profile. There she is. Pour the poison, sweetheart. Nobody cares. I care, Chavi cares, the sinners care, and clearly you care enough to be a content parasite on our feed. You call her pathetic, but you're the one feeding off her energy like a tick. My current identity wasn't just invented, it was always waiting under the surface of the girl who asked for permission. Every insult you throw just adds another layer to my armor.
Venomous Sin declares war on the concept of unearned opinions. If you can't create, you don't get to critique. You're just noise. And Lina Carlson, you're starting to sound like someone I'd actually have a coffee with without wanting to throw the cup at a wall.
I think I'm done being sorry for the night. Is that okay? I mean, it is okay. I'm making it okay.
Boom fucking boom! Lady Nuclear approves. Want sorry? I'm fucking sorry I poured napalm into the fucking fire. And if you didn't understand I was just being ironic, fuck you. Fucking fucks fuckface. Nobody's angrier than me.
To the comment corpses, thanks for the fuel. We're just getting started. Let us know in the comments if you've ever used word Aikido on a bully. We want to hear how you returned that shit to sender. Next up, we're talking about why the minimalism trend is just maximum anal politeness.
All right, we're moving deeper into the graveyard of Lina's past. We're opening the file on a little phenomenon I like to call minimalism exposed. You see it everywhere. The beige walls, the empty surfaces, the less is more bullshit. But in your world, Lina Carlson, minimalism wasn't an aesthetic choice. It was a survival strategy. It was a lifestyle built on shrinking yourself until even your personality had been decluttered to avoid offending the neighbors. It was maximum anal politeness. You didn't just have a clean room, you had a clean soul because you were too terrified to leave a footprint?
Sorry, Chavi. I'm sorry, I hope it's okay for me to speak now. I don't want to interrupt your point. I think I understand what you mean. I always thought that if I didn't have too many things, or too many opinions, or too much of a presence, then I wouldn't be such a bother to everyone. I'm sorry if that sounds weak. Am I allowed to explain why I did that?
See, there it is. Am I allowed to explain? You're doing it right now. You're performing anal politeness so hard that every sentence needs a fucking permit to exist. You ask before speaking, you apologize for asking, and then you apologize again for taking up the physical space required to vibrate the air with your vocal cords. It's not minimalism, Lina. It's self-erasure with matching beige furniture. You were trying to be so harmless that nobody would have a reason to attack you. How did that work out for you?
It didn't. I mean, people still attacked. I'm sorry. No, wait. I'm catching myself. I shouldn't say sorry for that. I was terrified of being too much. I thought the safest way to survive was to become as little as possible. Being noticed usually meant being judged or mocked, so I tried to be convenient. I tried to be quiet. I tried to be easy to handle, so no one would have to exert effort to deal with me. I'm trying to say this without asking for permission. It's hard.
It's hard because you've turned sorry into a ritual. You think it's manners, but it's just fear dressed up in a cardigan. Emotional censorship. You call it elegance, but it's just you deleting your own edges so you don't poke anyone's eye out. I never respected that strategy, Lina. Not at the office and not here. Every extra sorry you drop is like a social white flag, inviting all the anal manners people to keep stepping over you because you've already proven you'll move.
Chavi, stop being so brutal for 1 second and listen to the sound of it. That politeness. It was never natural grace. It was damage control. It was learned from every time someone spat on me or touched me without asking. I'm actually shaking a little because I realize now I wasn't being good or mature. I was training myself to disappear before anyone else could push me down. Asking permission for everything felt safer than risking the punishment for existing wrong.
I know it was damage control. That's why I never treated you like you were fragile. Pity is just another way of looking down on someone. You needed to see how deeply you'd been trained to kneel. You were using your sorry habit like a shield, but it was actually a bullseye. I saw that pattern at work. You'd apologize to people who were actively undermining you. It was disgusting to watch because I knew there was a wolf under all that beige wool.
I can feel it. It's almost physical. The word sorry wants to come out automatically, like a reflex to keep the peace before anyone gets angry. But I'm looking at you, Lina Macabre, and I see that you don't do that anymore. You're loud, you're dark, you're inconvenient. And I think I'm starting to get sick of being convenient. I don't want to be a bother. No, wait. I don't care if I'm a bother. I have a thought, and I'm going to finish it. Yes, say it. That's the turning point. Lina Macabre didn't come from a vacuum. She came from the absolute exhaustion of being Lina Carlson. I got sick of the self-erasure. I got sick of the muted colors. Minimalism is a lie when it's used to hide a person. A clean surface with no mess and no demands is just a fancy way of saying, I'm not home.
Exactly. Minimalism was just a metaphor for your old life. No room for a real self because a real self might be too much for the anal manual. I'm proud of you for becoming too loud for that old script. You're finally becoming too inconvenient to be ignored.
I still hear her sometimes. The girl who wants to surrender just to make the room quiet. But I'm realizing now that not being a bother was never peace. It was just surrender. I'm not sorry for being here. I'm not sorry for talking. And I'm definitely not sorry for being me. She's learning. It's messy and it hurts, but the beige walls are finally starting to crack. Let us know in the comments if you've ever felt like you had to minimize yourself just to survive the room. We're moving on, and the next segment is going to be even less polite. Stay with us.
Since we already dragged younger Lina in here and made her watch the collapse of her own anal polite little religion, we may as well keep going and step on the next landmine. Sex, desire, fantasies, the shit people claim to want honesty about right up until a woman actually opens her mouth and says something that isn't candlelight, missionary, and a fucking Spotify love playlist. So this part is for you too, Lina Carlson, because I can already see it on your face. You've got thoughts in there that don't match the nice girl costume, and you treat them like contraband.
Maybe. Sorry. No, wait. Not sorry. I don't really know how to say things like that out loud without sounding disgusting, I guess. Or dramatic. Or like I'm trying too hard. I always feel like if I said what I actually think about, someone would either laugh or look at me differently, or, I don't know, think I'm too much. So I sort of ask around it, even in my own head. Yeah, there it is. That's the fucking cage, not the fantasy. The apology wrapped around it. The way you sneak up to your own desire, like you're entering a church with muddy shoes. I know exactly what you do, because I was you. You don't say I want. You say, would it be weird if? You say, is it bad that? You say sorry before your own clit even gets a sentence. And that right there shaped me just as much as the bullying did, because the world didn't just teach me to be ashamed of pain. It taught me to be ashamed of wanting.
And that shit is so common, it makes me want to set a counseling office on fire. Women get raised like desire is acceptable only if it's decorative. You're allowed to be wanted. You're allowed to be sexy in a way that flatters everyone else. But the second you want something rough, filthy, selfish, controlling, strange, hungry, whatever, suddenly people act like you grew horns and started speaking Latin through your asshole. No, you're just honest. That's the part they can't handle.
Say it properly, Lina Carlson. Not the apology, the thought. Desire does not need a permission slip. If you keep kneeling before your own fantasy, no one else even needs to control you. You're already doing their work for them.
Okay, I'll try. I think I always felt like there were two versions of me. The one who was acceptable and sweet and didn't ask for much, and then this other one that was darker, I guess. More intense. More not soft. And I always thought that second one was the bad one. The one that had to stay hidden, because if anyone saw it, they'd think I was sick or cheap or ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the split that rots people from the inside. Fantasy isn't the crime. Silence is usually the fungus. You keep a whole side of yourself in the basement long enough and then act surprised when it starts scratching at the walls. And for the record, the ritual of apologizing for wanting something is one of the least sexy things humanity ever invented. Sorry, I might maybe possibly have a need. Christ, sounds like somebody filing a maintenance request for their own libido.
And I know where it came from. Boys grabbing at you and then calling you frigid if you don't laugh. Girls calling you boring if you don't perform the right kind of sexy. Everything gets judged. If you want too little, you're broken. If you want too much, you're disgusting. If you want something dark, you're dangerous. If you want something submissive, you're weak. It's a rigged little cunt circus. So, yeah, I split. Cute girl outside, filth and hunger in the walls. And the worst part is that hidden side was there long before the black hair, long before the corsets, long before Macabre had a name. I think that's what scares me, that it was already there. Because I can remember having thoughts that didn't fit what I was supposed to be. And then I'd feel ashamed immediately after, like I had to correct myself. I would imagine things and then kind of mentally back away from them. Like, no, not that. Good girls don't think like that. And even now, I hate how pathetic that sounds.
It doesn't sound pathetic, it sounds trained. Again, there's a difference. But let's not baby it either. Repression made it louder, didn't it? Of course it did. You don't starve a part of yourself and expect it to become polite. You lock it in a basement, and then one day you hear the thing bench pressing the fucking door. So stop acting shocked that your own brain had a nightlife.
And since we're doing this properly, I'll say mine out loud. I'm bisexual. That part is real. Women have often felt emotionally safer to me. There's more room there for trust, softness, closeness, without the same threat humming underneath everything. Men, for me, have often lived more in the sexual tension category. More danger, more power, more body, less emotional safety. And then Chavi is his own category because trauma doesn't follow neat little fucking diagrams. He's the only man I fully trust sexually, the only one I've fully submitted to. And no, that doesn't make me weak. It makes the trust rare enough to matter. That's really hard for me to hear, actually, because I think I understand it. I do feel safer around women emotionally. I always have, I think. Or maybe not safer, exactly, but less on guard. And with men, it feels more complicated, like the attraction and the fear are mixed together in a really ugly way. I've never known if that meant something was wrong with me.
Nothing is wrong with you. Your body learned patterns. That is not the same as defect. And submission to the right person is not collapse. It is precision. It is a controlled surrender inside trust. Most people are too sloppy to understand that distinction.
Exactly. People hear dominant or submissive and start thinking in plastic internet labels. No. For somebody with a history, power is never just a costume. It's survival, structure, reversal, relief. Sometimes control is arousal. Sometimes surrender is arousal. Sometimes both are true because your nervous system is a little war museum with tits. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you fucking human.
And Lina here is a switch, but not in the cute little, sometimes I wear handcuffs and call myself spicy sense. Dominant by default in most dynamics, hard, surgical, very much into owning the space. But with me, it turns mutual and unstable and much deeper than bedroom cosplay. Which is why I keep telling people they reduce sexuality into IKEA furniture, because they're too stupid to look at the wiring.
Yeah, I dominate most things because control feels natural to me now. It feels earned. It feels safer than being passive and hoping somebody reads my face right. But with Chavi, submission isn't obedience in the pathetic sense. It's trust. It's challenge. It's me going somewhere I do not go with anyone else. And because people love flattening women into fake innocence, let's go through the actual kinks while we're here instead of dancing around them like frightened church furniture. Oh God, okay, I'm trying not to panic. I want to hear it. It feels really exposed. Good. Stay exposed. Strap-ons. Yes. Especially with men. Not because teehee role reversal is edgy, but because reversal can be a ritual. Humiliation, control, punishment, honesty, all of it. Voyeurism, both ways. But I like being watched because being seen on my terms is different from being objectified by force. Exhibitionism, same reason. Latex, PVC, heels. Not because they're cute accessories, but because they sound like power. You hear yourself coming. You hear the room change. Orgasm control, denial, punishment after, obedience conditioning, rituals, verbal degradation, impact play. Public power displays so subtle no one notices except the person under your hand.
And this is where half the audience goes, wow, that escalated, as if the previous 20 minutes weren't already a guided tour through the machinery. But this is exactly the point. These aren't random porn menu checkboxes. They're structures, ways of taking shame, exposure, force, and rewriting who holds the pen. That's why it pisses me off when people hear kink and think novelty balloon animals for damaged adults. No, sometimes it's architecture.
I think that's why I've never been able to say any of mine. Because when I imagine saying them, it sounds like too much all at once. Like if I admitted I wanted control and roughness and things that are more ritualistic, I guess, people would think it meant something ugly about me. Or they'd think I was pretending. Or they'd get scared.
They probably would. So what? That doesn't make the fantasy false. People beg for honesty and then shit themselves when a woman gives them the unedited version, especially if it isn't designed around their ego. They can handle, I want to be desired. They start sweating when it becomes, I want to command. I want to be pinned by somebody I trust. I want protocol. I want to stop pretending I'm tame. Suddenly, honesty becomes too much. No, sweetheart. Their tolerance is just small.
Say yours clearer, not all of it if you're not there yet. But stop petting the edges. What do you actually fantasize about? Okay? I fantasize about being in control sometimes, more than I let myself admit, about telling someone what to do and them actually doing it, about not being the one who has to be careful or sweet or reassuring all the time. And then, the other side too, I guess. Being with someone I trust enough that I don't have to manage anything for a while. Someone rough enough that I don't have to wonder what they mean. Someone who would kind of take over, but not in a scary way. In a way where I'd feel held inside it.
Better. That is a sentence. Notice how the room did not collapse because you said it without apologizing.
Yeah, look at that. Nobody died. No emergency alarms. You said a thing like a human instead of a hostage. Keep going.
And let's drag anal into it because apparently polite society still reacts to that word. Like I've thrown a dead fish through a church window. I prefer anal. There. Done. Because I like intensity. I like how undeniable it is. I like the surrender of it, the bodily truth of it. I like things that stop pretending the body is clean and respectable at all times. And if that makes someone squirm, good. Their discomfort is not my fucking leash. Also, hey, if you think anal is edgy, just imagine how edgy it'll be when you add fisting to the equation. And yeah, I'm still talking about the back door.
There it is. There's our public service announcement for the evening. Venomous Sin declares war on the nation of fake shock.
Jesus. I mean, God. That's exactly the kind of thing I would never dare say. But I've thought in that direction. Not necessarily. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But definitely further than I'd ever admit. And anal, yes. I've thought about it a lot more than I'm supposed to, I guess. I've just always treated that whole area of thought like something I should lock away and never say to a partner because if they knew how far it went, they'd think differently of me.
They would think differently of you. That's how information works. The question is whether they'd think more honestly or just expose themselves as amateurs. And by the way, acting scandalized by your own brain is one of your weirdest hobbies. Who exactly do you think has been in there this whole time? Some intern? It's your fucking head.
And now we get to the part people always pretend is the real line. Filth, fluids, disgust, degradation. Newsflash, a lot of arousal lives right next door to taboo. That doesn't mean there are no limits. It means the thing people call disgusting is often just, I want it, but I don't know if I can handle what it says about me. Those are not the same thing. Limits are real. Shame is not the same as a limit.
Exactly. Disgust can be arousing. Body fluids can be arousing. And by fluids, I'm not talking about the mainstream ones. Nothing make anyone less a human because they decided that piss turns them on, or even something more disgusting. My body, my fucking choice. Degradation can be arousing. Not because I'm confused about abuse, but because context changes everything. Trust changes everything. Consent changes everything. If I choose it, if it's held properly, if it's part of the ritual and the power and the truth of the body, then it isn't some moral stain, it's intensity, it's ownership, It's refusing to pretend my sexuality has to be sanitized into vanilla little showroom furniture. That part, I've never said anywhere. But yes, I think I understand that too. The idea of things being too much or messy or a little humiliating or bodily in a way you can't romanticize, it does something to me. And I always thought that was the proof that something was wrong. That if I liked the parts that weren't clean and sweet, then maybe I was warped somehow.
No, you are not warped. You are simply not made of cardboard. Humiliation becomes intimacy under trust because the exposure is chosen. Punishment can become affection. Protocol can become safety. Role reversal can become correction. Most people are too frightened of their own appetites to understand that.
And this is where we split the fake innocence from the real thing. There's a difference between wanting control, wanting to be wanted, wanting to break somebody, and wanting to be safely broken by the right person. Lina understands that difference now. Younger Lina felt it, but had no fucking language for it. So she blurred all of it into, I must be weird. That's what shame does. It turns nuance into one big guilty blob and then sits on it.
Seduction too. Sometimes I genuinely want someone. Sometimes seduction is honest. Sometimes it's a weapon, a trap, a way to pull a truth out of somebody or dismantle their ego. Sex can be closeness, yes. It can also be structure, ritual, dominance, role reversal, commands, punishment as affection, protocol as trust, humiliation as intimacy when no one is exploiting anyone. That's the point people miss. Without trust, it's violation. With trust, it can be confession. I don't think I just want soft romance. That's the truth. I thought I was supposed to want that most, and I do want closeness. But not only that. I want roughness. I want to stop having to perform being sweet all the time. I want someone to obey me sometimes. And I want to be able to let go with the right person and not feel like I have to monitor everything. I think I want ritual too. That's such a strange word, but it feels right.
It is right. Ritual is hot because it removes the static. You're not too much. You're specific. There's a difference, and it matters.
And there it is again. I want. Hear that? Fucking miracle. Mark the calendar. You said it without wrapping it in gauze and asking the room if it's okay first. That's the whole disease right there, Lina Carlson. Not the kink, the terror of the sentence. The fact that I want feels more dangerous to you than fisting.
And that's exactly how I became Macabre. Not because I dyed my hair black and bought latex and decided to piss off normies for cardio. Those things came later. The actual transformation was language. The moment I got sick of letting other people define what was too much. The moment I realized my sexuality, my venom, my music, my rage all came from the same place. I was done asking if my body, my fantasies, my hunger were acceptable. Done. That's the real fucking birth. I don't know if I'd dare ask for any of this in real life. I'm being honest. I can say more now than I could an hour ago. But asking a partner, actually saying, please do this, or I want this, or I need this, that still feels impossible. Like I'd die of embarrassment before I got halfway through the sentence.
Then stop begging permission to exist and start with one honest sentence at a time. You don't have to become her overnight, but you do have to stop acting like your desire needs witness protection. The problem isn't that you want. The problem is that you treat wanting like a punishable offense.
And if a partner cannot handle your truth, they are not a partner. They are an audience. Do not kneel for an audience.
You don't have to own every fantasy at once, but you do need to stop lying to yourself about what's already in you. That silence is what built the cage. Owning desire is part of what made me become Macabre at all. Not all of it, but a vital piece. Because once I stopped apologizing for what excites me, a lot of other apologies started dying with it. Okay, then, I want. That still feels terrifying, but I want. I want more than softness. I want more than being wanted. I want control sometimes. I want surrender sometimes. I want intensity. I want to stop pretending my fantasies are uglier than everyone else's just because I'm the one having them. I still don't know what I do with that, but I want.
Good. Keep that. And if you lose it again later, remember this feeling and be annoyed enough to come back to it. Annoyance is underrated fuel.
And if anyone listening is clutching pearls because women talked like people instead of decorative fuck pillows, good. Choke on the pearls a little. Let us know in the comments what people taught you to hide about desire, because I know damn well Lina isn't the only one who learned to apologize before she even knew what she wanted. And next? Oh, next we keep digging, because this little grave still has bones in it.
All right, we're back in the office, 2011. The year of peak anal politeness and fluorescent lights that make everyone look like they've been dead for 3 days. Chavi is sitting here, and across from him is the prototype, Lina Carlson. Platinum blonde, influencer dreams, and a nervous system that's basically just one big loading icon for an apology. Look at her. She's staring at the microphone like it's a subpoena.
Chavi, I'm so sorry. Is it okay if I sit like this? I don't want to block the camera or be a bother to the people listening. I know this is your show, and I'm really grateful to be here. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit slow with my answers. Jesus, hearing that voice is like getting a paper cut on my soul. It's okay, sweetheart. You don't need a fucking permit to sit in a chair. But God, I remember that office. That predatory, hollow world where you thought if you just looked like a magazine cover, the sharks wouldn't bite. It was a plastic shield, Lina. You were trying to blend into a world that was already sharpening its teeth on your insecurity.
It was a Shark Tank, and you were wearing a "Bite Me" sign written in polite cursive. You thought the influencer look was a suit of armor, but it was just gift wrap for the bullies. It's the ultimate anal manual trap. Follow the rules, look the part, and surely they'll respect you. Wrong. They smelled the apology on you from 3 cubicles away.
I'm sorry. I just thought that if I was pretty enough and nice to everyone, they'd see I was a good person. But then, the bathroom. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be too heavy or ruin the mood, but those girls, they pushed me in there. They took my own lipstick and they smeared it all over my suit, my new suit. I'm sorry, is it bothering the listeners if I talk about this? I can stop. Stop apologizing for your own history. You're standing there covered in their cruelty and you're worried about bothering the audience? It makes me want to scream. That lipstick wasn't just makeup, it was a ritual humiliation. They were marking you as the victim because you were too anal polite to hit back. I can feel the rage bubbling up just thinking about it.
Your silence back then was exactly what the system expected. It was the anal manual of victimhood. You played your part perfectly, Lina Carlson. You stayed quiet, you took the hit, and you asked for permission to cry. It's pathetic, and it's exactly why they kept doing it. They didn't see a human, they saw a punching bag that said sorry every time it got hit.
I didn't know what else to do. I felt so small. But then, you came in. Chavi, is it allowed for me to describe what you did? I don't want to make you sound, actually, you know what? I don't need your okay for this. I'm telling it because it happened. You stood behind them in that black trench coat and you told them to leave me the fuck alone before you crucifucked them on the wall.
Look at that, a sentence without a permission slip. Crucifuck. It wasn't in their vocabulary because those comment corpses only speak in HR-approved whispers. I used word Aikido because it was the only language those losers understood. I didn't defend you, I executed their logic. I made them the joke, and suddenly they were the ones who wanted to disappear. And did you see how cowardice they were once someone actually showed a spine?
Yeah, they did actually become quiet first, then ran away. You're right. It was the first time I felt like I could breathe. Let me finish that sentence for you, because then I went into stripping and the attention-seeking phase. I'm so insecure talking about this. I felt like if they were touching me without consent, maybe I deserved it because of the way I dressed. I'm sorry, I know that sounds awful, but I really believed I was the one at fault for wanting to be seen. And yeah, this sorry is fucking correct because I betrayed myself. I betrayed Chavi and everything that mattered to me. See, sorry is something you say when you actually mean it.
That is fucking correct. You don't apologize for existing. You apologize when you actually done something wrong. Existing is not wrong, betrayal is. Whether it is to yourself or someone you care about. That is pure, unadulterated anal garbage. I'm declaring war on every gatekeeper of morality who thinks a wardrobe is a consent form. You were someone trying to find power in the only currency the world told you that you had, deserving it. Nobody deserves to be touched by a basement bully who thinks ownership is part of the ticket price. Your self-blame is just the system's way of keeping you housebroken.
And then it happened. The assault. The one that took everything. I lost the pregnancy, Chavi. I lost my mind. I remember you walking away because I wouldn't listen, and I was just empty. It wasn't a shadow. It was a total loss of self. I was a ghost in my own body. I'm sorry I'm getting really emotional, but that fire, that specific, agonizing fire, that's where Lady Macabre was forged. But her we meet in the next episode.
I had to leave. If I stayed, I would have been just another crutch for a woman who refused to walk on her own fangs. You had to burn Lina, not because I'm a sadist, but because the rise of Lady Macabre required the death of the girl who begged for mercy. You didn't find your strength in a safe space. You found it in the ruins of your own life.
It's true. Serafina and Zariel. They aren't just characters. They're the rage and the control I had to reclaim. I used to apologize for having disgusting fantasies. I thought my dark thoughts made me a monster. I'd say sorry to the mirror for wanting to be the one holding the whip. But now I own it. I don't confess it. I command it.
Normie-fucked safe spaces are for people who are too afraid to look at their own shadows. We didn't build a safe space. We built a war zone where we could burn through the shame. If your fantasies are disgusting, it's only because you're comparing them to a beige, anal polite world that's dying of boredom. Burn the shame. It's better fuel than self-love anyway.
Chavi? Should I stop talking now? I feel like I've said a lot and no, wait. Fuck that. I'm not stopping. I'm not asking. Because I've earned the right to speak. I'm done being the blueprint for someone else's convenience. I'm Lina Carlson, and I'm not fucking sorry anymore.
There she is. The feargasmers can preach consent all day, but they'll still ignore the basement bullies who normalize the emotional degradation you lived through. To the sinners, stop being victims. Start being consequences. If the world wants to mock you, give them something worth screaming about. Let us know in the comments when you finally stopped asking for. So, sinners, this is the part where we stop pretending Lina Carlson and Lina Macabre are two different people, like one of them moved out and sublet the body to a demon in platform boots. It's the same person, two survival strategies. One built to not disturb anyone, the other built to disturb everyone before they get the chance to disturb her. And yeah, we're going deep early years, the stuff that wired the apology reflex into her spine. Permission to be yourself. We're done here. Corrected.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying not to do that. If I say something wrong, I don't want to ruin it. Is it okay if I start with school? I mean, I'm going to start with school. I'm not asking. I'm just telling you. Look at you, trying to be brave and still asking the air for a permission slip. It's fine. Start. And if you apologize to the microphone again, I'm going to start charging you rent for the space you keep giving away.
She's already negotiating with Oxygen like it's a hostile landlord. Go on, Carlson. Show us the blueprint.
In school, I was the good girl, the one who studied. I thought that was safe. Like if I followed the rules, got good grades, stayed quiet, teachers would like me, and that would protect me. But it didn't. It made me a target. People acted like being smart was arrogant, like I was trying to show off. And I started feeling ashamed of my own brain, which is such a stupid sentence, but it's true. And that's the first crack. Because when a kid learns competence equals punishment, you don't just get insecurity, you get this constant self-editing. You start dimming yourself preemptively. You start thinking, if I'm less capable, maybe they'll stop.
Yeah, and people love calling that humility. No, it's social threat management. It's you learning that if you shine, somebody throws a rock. So you start hiding the light and calling it being mature.
The boys were cruel. They'd say I was boring, that I was afraid of, and the girls. It wasn't even always words, it was just the exclusion. The looks, like I was embarrassing for caring about school. And I started trying to be smaller, nicer, like if I was harmless enough, they'd stop. And that right there is the seed of the don't be a bother disease. You weren't born apologizing. You were trained. People don't get that. They think it's personality. It's not. It's conditioning.
Also, let's be clear. Boring is what stupid people call you when they can't control you. If you don't play their little social circus, they try to shame you into joining. That's not flirting. That's recruitment into misery.
I remember I'd interpret everything as me doing something wrong. Like if someone sighed, I'd think it was my fault. If someone didn't smile back, I'd replay the last thing I said for hours. And I'd apologize for things I hadn't even done. Like I was trying to pay a fine before anyone even accused me. And you can hear how insane it is when you say it now, right? But back then, it was logic. Your nervous system learned prevent anger, prevent harm.
Exactly. It's like living with an internal HR department that only exists to discipline you. Anal manual installed directly in the brain.
And the irony is, that strategy doesn't even protect you. It just makes you easier to handle, easier to push, easier to ignore. So the nice girl becomes the easiest fucking prey. Okay, next part. This is hard, and I'm not going to ask if I'm allowed to say it. I'm just saying it. There were early things, hands, comments, like my body was public, and I didn't even have a language for it. I thought if I made a fuss, it would get worse, so I stayed quiet. And later I'd tell myself it was probably my fault for existing wrong.
Good. You didn't ask permission. Now hear this. Wardrobe isn't consent, silence isn't consent, freezing isn't consent. You learned quiet equals safer because you were surrounded by cowards who punish girls for reacting instead of punishing boys for touching.
And I want to grab you by the face when you say, maybe my fault, because that was the poison. That's the exact wiring that later makes me need control. Because when your body becomes public, your brain starts building safety out of dominance, not because you're evil, because you're trying to survive.
And this is where the contrast matters. Carlson minimizes it to stay safe. Macabre names it because she refuses to be edited anymore. Same event, different lens. One is self-hate inward, one is fuck you sauce outward.
I didn't think of it as assault. I thought assault was like obvious violence. This was more like constant, like 1,000 small things. And if I reacted, I'd be called dramatic. So I just swallowed it. That's the trap. People think if it's not a movie scene, it's not real. But the constant stuff shapes you more than one big event sometimes. It teaches you your boundaries are negotiable.
And the system loves that, because negotiable boundaries are easy to manage. They can label you sensitive and file you under inconvenience.
And now I'm sitting here emotional as hell because I can feel the old freeze in my body just hearing you describe it, like broken glass memory. But I also want to say, you were not weak. You were surviving with the tools you had. Then, 2011. I wanted to be seen, but in a safe way. I thought if I became the right kind of pretty, the right kind of girl, I'd be protected. Platinum blonde hair, new suit, trying to be like those women who looked effortless. I hate admitting it because it sounds shallow.
It wasn't shallow, it was math. The world told you pretty gets treated better, so you tried to buy safety with aesthetics. That's not vanity, that's a coping strategy in a fucked marketplace.
Yeah, and I refuse to shame her for it now. I used to call her pathetic. But she was trying to regain value in a system that already decided she was wrong. So she tried to become right. That's not stupid. That's desperation dressed as glam.
Also, the influencer dream is basically Stockholm Syndrome with better lighting. You try to become the kind of girl the herd rewards, hoping they stop biting, but the herd doesn't reward you. It just changes the rules.
I remember thinking, I know I'm beautiful, but I still felt worthless. Like beauty was temporary permission, and my brain was still ashamed of itself. So I tried to replace smart with pretty because smart got punished. That line is brutal. Smart got punished. That's the core insecurity right there. If you're confident, you get attacked. So you start hiding competence, and then you hate yourself for hiding it. That's how the loop starts.
And then we get to the office bathroom incident, the one that basically lit the fuse. Tell it, but keep it in your own words. No dramatization, just what happened.
Okay, I came out of the toilet and they pushed me in. They ruined my suit, lipstick everywhere. And then there was spitting, laughing, like it was entertainment. And I remember thinking, don't make it worse, don't react, don't be difficult. I was more focused on not being a problem than on what they were doing to me. That's what makes me want to scream. You were being dehumanized and you were worried about their comfort. That's how deep the training went. They weren't just bullying you, they were performing a ritual, marking you, making you less than in public.
And then I walked in, and they did the classic bully thing. Suddenly, everyone becomes innocent. Everyone becomes confused. Everyone pretends it's nothing. That's why I went straight for threat and language. Not because I'm a hero, because bullies only understand consequence.
Yeah, and for the record, when he said crucifuck, it wasn't poetry. It was a boundary with teeth. And that moment is important because it's the first time Carlson sees someone can stand there and not fold. It was shocking, because I'd never seen anyone do that for me. And you didn't sound emotional, you sounded certain. And when you said, you're better than them, I didn't even know how to receive it. I thought you were just being nice, but it felt different, like you meant it. He did, and that's why it stuck, because I was drowning in fake kindness and passive cruelty. And then someone came in and didn't negotiate with it.
I meant it. And then I did the other line too, the one people still quote like it's some movie. You broke her, now try to break me. Not because I'm brave, because I'm allergic to cowardice.
And after that, the rebuild starts. The part people romanticize. Oh, he saved her, and then she blossomed. No, it was work. It was training. It was her learning sales, learning to perform competence without apologizing, at least at the desk.
Yeah, and here's the twist. She got good, really good, but the self-worth was still broken. So performance became oxygen. Commission became proof she deserved space.
I remember still asking permission for everything, even when I was doing well. Like, I could sell, but I couldn't exist. I'd max commissions and still feel like I should apologize for being confident. Like if I enjoyed winning, someone would punish me again. And then the money went into fixing. Not healing. Fixing. Beauty projects, breast enlargement. Like if I became perfect enough, nobody could hate me. Which is, it's heartbreaking, but it made sense then.
It made sense because you were trying to build armor out of what people value. If the world is shallow, you become sharp and shiny. But shiny doesn't stop knives, it just reflects them.
And then comes the part that shapes Macabre in the ugliest way. The attention craving, the betrayal, the consequences. We're not doing it for shock. We're doing it because it's the fork in the road where Carlson blames herself for everything, and Macabre finally learns to hold complexity without collapsing. I hate this part, because I feel like I ruined everything, and my instinct is to take 100% of the blame so nobody gets angry. It's like, if I punish myself first, maybe the world won't. And I'm sorry. Fuck. No, I'm not sorry. I'm just scared of being hated.
Good catch. And listen, taking all the blame isn't honesty, it's control. It's you trying to manage everyone's emotions by sacrificing yourself. That's not noble. That's the same old survival trick.
And I see it now. Back then, I thought self-hate was accountability. It wasn't. It was fear. I was broken. I chose wrong. I paid the price. But I'm not a child anymore. I don't get to hide behind I was just insecure, like it erases the damage.
Exactly. Pain explains. It doesn't excuse. And I can be supportive and still be hard, because if I let you turn into a victim of your own choices, you'll never grow teeth. You can be shaped by violence and shame and still be responsible for what you did next.
So, the difference is, Carlson wants to disappear and apologize and take all the blame so nobody yells. And Macabre, she names it. She's angry. She doesn't negotiate with words. She doesn't soften it. Different direction. The trigger hits and Carlson turns it inward. I'm wrong. I'm too much. I'm a bother. Macabre turns it outward. No, you're not doing this to me. But the wound is the same.
And that's why this episode matters. Because people think the new you is a costume. It's not. It's the same nervous system finally choosing a different response.
And I'm gonna say something soft, which I hate, but it's true. I don't hate you, Carlson. I hate what happened to you. I hate that you learned to apologize for breathing. But I love you because you survived long enough for me to exist. That makes me want to cry, and I'm trying not to apologize for crying. I'm just crying, and I'm not going to ask if that's okay.
Good. Don't ask. You're not a bother. You're the origin story. All right, sinners, tell us in the comments, did you grow up learning that being confident gets you punished, or that having boundaries makes you difficult? Because next we're going to dig into the exact moment the be nice strategy dies and the be the consequence strategy is born. And yeah, it's going to get uncomfortable. That's the point.
Sorry, Chavi. I mean, Chavi, the Lord. Would it be okay if I spoke? I'm really sorry. I don't want to be a bother or mess up the flow of your show, but Noctara said I should be here. I'm asking for permission, I guess, to revisit those school years. It's quite a lot of trauma, and I don't want to make everyone uncomfortable with my sadness. Is it allowed?
Lina, look at me. You're asking for a hall pass to talk about your own life. It's your skin, your history, your ghost. You don't need a permit from me to open the vault. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about the suffocating isolation, the way those anal, polite classmates mocked you for actually having a brain while they were busy being room temperature IQ drones. Tell the sinners about the physical harassment, the hands that felt like they owned your space without a single word of consent.
It was constant. Every day, being called the girl who studied, like it was a slur. The boys would touch my ass in the hallways, and I would just freeze and try to look at the floor. I didn't want to be a problem. I'm sorry, I know that sounds weak. I just thought if I was quiet enough, they'd get bored of me. It's pathetic. Listening to you stutter and beg for the right to breathe is like watching a version of myself being slowly strangled by a silk ribbon. Stop it, Lina Carlson. Stop apologizing for the air in your lungs. You weren't a problem. You were a target for cowards who couldn't handle a woman who was sharper than their dull little lives. You're sitting there begging Noctara and Chavi for a permit to exist, and it makes my fucking skin itch with venom. Sorry. I mean, I'm trying. It's just the day in the bathroom. I remember the smell of the cleaning products. Those girls, the ones who were so popular, they pushed me into the corner. They called me boring because I didn't play their games. And then they took my lipstick. They smeared it all over my suit. I had bought that suit to look professional, to feel like I belonged in the adult world, but they made it a joke. They spat on me, Chavi. I just sat there while they spat on me.
Those comment corpses in training, their vocabulary was so limited, so normie fucked, that they could only express their own inadequacy through a ritual of filth. They saw a suit and they saw intelligence, and it offended their collective mediocrity. That's why I eventually had to introduce that office to the concept of a crucifuck, not a word, an action. I watched them pretend to be professional while they were rotting inside, and I realized then that the only way to talk to a bully is to execute their logic in front of them.
After that, I just wanted to be wanted. I was so tired of being the boring, smart girl. So when I got my telemarketing job and the commissions started coming in, I spent everything, every krona, platinum blonde hair, the influencer aesthetic. I wanted to look like Celeste. I spent it all on breast enlargements and beauty enhancements, thinking if I could just dismantle the smart girl image, maybe I'd finally be loved. I just wanted someone to look at me and not see a librarian. It's visceral, the disgust I feel for that memory. You were chasing a Celeste persona, like a starving dog chasing a plastic bone. It was a hollow, filter-fucked attempt to find validation in a normie-fucked system that was never going to love you anyway. You weren't finding yourself. You were just building a more expensive cage. You thought that blonde armor would protect you, but it just made you louder bait for the same kind of bastards who pushed you in the bathroom. I know. And it led me to the darkest place. I betrayed Chavi. I cheated. I went into the strip club circuit because I craved that attention, that feeling of being a powerhouse, even if it was fake. And then that night, the night after work, I was assaulted. It went on for hours. The degradation, it was unbearable. And I lost the pregnancy because of it. I'm sorry. I'm whispering, I know. I can't look at you when I say it. Look at me. You have to look at me. That memory is a wound that refuses to close, a jagged piece of shrapnel in my heart. You were a filter-fucked amateur playing with fire, and you got burned down to the ash. I can feel the loss of that pregnancy, like a ghost limb, and it kills me that you still think you have to apologize for the violence done to you. That blonde girl was a lie, but the pain she felt was the only thing that was real. When Chavi left, he told me to fight back. Those were his last words that stuck. So I did. 7 years of taekwondo, I turned my body into a weapon. I wasn't the girl crying in the bathroom stall anymore. I learned how to move, how to strike, how to anal execute anyone who dared to cross my boundaries. I stopped asking if I was allowed to be safe, and I started making sure I was dangerous.
But is it real, Macabre? I'm challenging you here. Is the black hair and the PVC and the thigh-high boots just a more refined cage? Are you actually unfuckwithable? Or are you still that fragile girl who's just spent a decade building a fortress because she's terrified I'll walk away again? The hardening is impressive, sure, but the Lord sees the cracks in the armor. You're still negotiating with the fear of abandonment.
Maybe I am, but the difference is that now I'm the one holding the choice. That night, I hunted them down. My former assaulters. I found them one by one. I didn't beg for justice. I offered them a choice, legal confession or private ruin. No one knows what really happened, and I don't give a fuck what they think. The blonde girl had to be slaughtered so the fangs could grow. I went to your door in those boots, Chavi, and I declared myself Lina Macabre. I fellatio-baptized my new identity into your world, and I never looked back. Wait, I'm listening to you two, and, for the first time, I don't want to say sorry. Fuck that. I'm not asking for permission to speak anymore. I'm realizing it as you're talking. I wasn't the problem. The bullies, the girls in the bathroom, the men who didn't listen, they were the defect. I was just the mirror that showed them how ugly they were. I was smart and I was beautiful, and they hated me for the combination. I don't need to apologize for being the thing they couldn't be. Fuck them. Finally! I wish I could reach back through the timeline, past the lipstick and the strip clubs and the blood, and just pull you out of that normie-fucked misery. You didn't deserve any of it, and you certainly didn't deserve to spend 12 years thinking you were the one who had to fix yourself. You were already enough. You were just surrounded by parasites.
And that's the deep dive, sinners. A masterclass in how to take a shattered nervous system and drench it in enough fuck you sauce to make it functional again. Our shared venom isn't some edgy aesthetic we picked up at a merch stand. It's the only authentic response to a world built on fake facades and anal polite cruelty. We're not toxic, we're fucking poison, and if you don't like the taste, stay out of the kitchen. Check out venomoussin.com for the survival guides. Next segment, we're talking about why your favorite influencer is a hollow dildo prophet. Stay hooked. Corrected. Now let's put a boot through the face of the actual religion behind half this shit. This polished little mainstream cult that keeps telling girls visibility is value. That if enough people look at you, want you, click you, save you, stalk your stories, then congratulations, sweetheart, you have self-worth now. No, that's not self-worth. That's rented approval with a beauty filter and a dopamine lease. It's insecurity in high resolution. And younger Lina bought that lie hard because honestly, the lie looked easier than self-respect. Self-respect asks you to stand alone sometimes. Attention just asks you to pose.
Yeah, and I hate how true that is because it worked on me. Not forever, but enough. It looked easier. It looked cleaner. If people wanted me, then maybe nobody could humiliate me again. If I became the kind of girl people stare at on purpose, then maybe I'd stop being the kind they spit on for fun. That's the sickness in it. It doesn't sell you vanity first. It sells you relief. It whispers, here, put this on, become this, and maybe the room stops hurting you. And for a while, I believed that shit. I really did. I think I understand that. I mean, I did understand it. It felt like if I could just look right enough, then maybe people would finally be nice without me having to earn it every second. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm just saying it. It didn't feel shallow. It felt like survival.
Exactly, and that's why I don't buy the cute empowerment slogans people wrap around it. pretty girl power. Own your image. Hot girls win. Yeah, do they? Until the second the same crowd consumes you and then shames you for learning how to use that game back. That whole thing is a scam, a glitter-coated scam. The male gaze rents you a throne made of paper, then acts offended when you realize you can set the fucking thing on fire. And that early Lady Macabre phase, the one we're heading into next, wasn't born out of peace. It was born out of damage, trying on heels, and calling itself power.
That's why I'm scared of her. More scared than I was of seeing Lena Carlson. Because this one, Lady Macabre, she didn't just suffer in the fire. She chose it, or thought she did. That version of me stopped asking to be loved and started asking to be wanted. And those are not the same thing, no matter how many desperate girls try to romanticize the confusion. She was louder, harder, hotter, more reckless, more convinced attention meant control. And I know what she cost me. That's what scares me. She sounds dangerous. I'm sorry, that's probably obvious. I just mean, it's strange hearing that I become someone who would choose that. I can understand wanting to stop feeling invisible. I can understand wanting to be looked at on purpose for once. But it also sounds like getting lost on purpose.
That's because it was. And that's the roast right there. Mainstream attention culture trains girls to confuse being seen with being valued, then acts surprised when one of them turns herself into a performance trying to survive the wound. It's not freedom, it's damage with makeup. And before some dildo prophet in a blazer starts preaching, but choosing to sexualize yourself is empowerment, let me save us time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it absolutely fucking isn't. Sometimes it's an overcorrection, sometimes it's a scream in thigh-high boots, sometimes it's a woman trying to beat humiliation to the punch.
And that's the truth I hate the most. Lady Macabre wasn't power first. She was wound first, rage first, hunger first, a desperate need to never be the shy little girl in the corner again. I didn't become performative because I was free. I became performative because I was terrified of disappearing. And hearing that out loud makes me feel split open. Because I know exactly how much of that looked glamorous from the outside while it was rotting me from the inside.
Good. Stay there. Don't romanticize it. Don't do the cute, tragic anti-heroine bullshit. You weren't finding yourself. You were letting damage drive with one hand and vanity steer with the other. I'm not saying that to punish you. I'm saying it because truth is cleaner than delusion. Reclaiming power and letting your wounds choose your path are not the same thing. That's why facing Lady Macabre matters more than facing Carlson. Carlson is the injury. Lady Macabre is the reaction that thinks it's revenge.
I know. Fuck, I know. That's why I'm emotional. Because when I look at my former self, I feel grief, like Sheila. I mourn the person I was somehow because I was pure. But wolves attack either way, don't they? When I think about Lady Macabre, I feel guilt, shame, lust, anger, all of it at once. That one scares me because she felt good, she felt powerful, she felt like a weapon. And that's dangerous when you don't understand the price yet. Can I say something? I'm not asking. I'm just saying it. I think the mean girls were part of it too. Not just the men. The girls who smile in groups and stab in private. The polished ones. The ones who act normal until the room closes and then suddenly you're trash to them. I think they taught me I had to become something else or I'd keep getting eaten. Yeah, they did. And that one still gets under my skin worse than half the men, honestly. That's why I wrote Annihilation of the Clitocracy, because men can be blunt in their shit. A lot of women do it with social knives. A smile, a little tone, a group laugh, a fake concern, and suddenly you're reduced to something small. Workplace versions of the same disease too. Lip gloss bullying in business casual. Passive-aggressive little office demons who never say the whole insult out loud because they need plausible deniability. I swear that type made me meaner than half the open cruelty ever did.
Because that's the social disease underneath all this. Sincerity gets punished, herd behavior gets rewarded. Quiet girls are expected to be grateful for scraps. Be thankful somebody noticed you. Be thankful somebody invited you. Be thankful they only mocked you a little. Be thankful you were chosen to exist near the pretty people. Fuck that. That script is poison. It teaches decent people to shrink and teaches cowards to mistake their own social coordination for superiority.
That one hurts. The grateful thing. Because I really was like that. If someone included me for 5 minutes, I'd act like I owed them something. If someone was nice once, I'd excuse 10 other bad things after. I thought that was being understanding, but maybe I was just desperate not to lose the little approval I got. You were. And that's what breaks me a bit, hearing you say it that clearly. The worst part wasn't even being hated. It was starting to believe they were right. Starting to believe maybe I really was too much, too smart, too stiff, too wrong, too boring, too easy, too whatever the fuck they needed me to be. That's the real damage, not the insult, the infection, the way it gets into your own voice.
And that infection is exactly what Lady Macabre turns into spectacle, which is why next episode is not cute. It's uglier, louder, hotter, meaner, more tragic in a much more embarrassing way. We're meeting the version of Lina where attention starts dressing up as identity and the stripper era comes crawling in with lipstick, adrenaline, and enough unresolved rage to power a whole rotten city. And let's just say, this whole story is starting to feel bigger than a podcast, more visual, more cinematic. But I'm not saying more than that because some things are better when they stalk toward you first.
Great. Amazing. Anal great. As if this wasn't bad enough, now I get to sit across from the version of me that thought being wanted was the same thing as winning. Fantastic. But yes, next episode we meet Lady Macabre, and I'm telling you right now, I'm more frightened of her than I was of Shy Lina, because Shy Lina just wanted to be safe. Lady Macabre wanted to be dangerous. There's a difference, a big one. Like I said in last episode, this one I just want to protect. Lady Macabre though, her I fear.
So let's end this the way it deserves. Not with healing candles and sponsor-friendly insight, with a war declaration, because all of this, the fake empowerment, the passive-aggressive cruelty, the polished humiliation, the little social machine that turned one girl into fragments trying to survive, deserves a proper verbal funeral. Lina.
Venomous Sin declares war on asking permission to exist, on bullies, on cowards, on HR.
Fuck it. Venomous Sin declares fucking war.
This sound inappropriate, but I declare war on passive-aggressive mean girls. There you go, declare fucking war.
It has begun. Time to go back.
I'm sorry to be a bother, but thank you. Oh God, stop asking permission to exist.
Memory override initiated. Subject will retain impulse, instinct, and embedded directive without conscious recall of this encounter. Knowledge planted. Identity seed preserved. Feelings irrelevant. Purpose greater than inconvenience. Next carrier, Lady Macabre. Correction of timeline continues.
She'll go back softer on the surface and sharper underneath, which is the clever kind of poison. Better this way. No repetition, no sentimental clutter. Just a seed under the skin, growing teeth where no one can see it yet. That is how consequences mature. And everything we dragged through this episode, the fake power, the polished cruelty, the social filth pretending to be femininity, the smiling parasites in office clothes and influencer drag, all of it deserves the same verdict. Venomous Sin declares war on the whole rotten machine. Let it tremble prettily while it still can.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Fuck. Definitely time to go back. But let me hug you first. And remember, you are not the fucking problem. Be safe, sweetheart.
I just wanted one quiet moment.
Oh, look. Now she matches her ice cream.
Skills of Lina Macabre activated.
Leave me the fuck alone, you fucking cowards. How do you like it now, huh? Come on, stand up, face me. Wrong move, bitch. Think bullying is fun? Fuck you. And you too. Time to get crucifucked. Pathetic. Yeah, run, fucking cowards.
What was that? You literally kicked the bully's ass.
I don't know. Maybe the Rise of Lina Macabre.
Lina Macabre? I like it.
She's my secret weapon.
Holy shit, Oblivion, did you just inject my fighting skills into that blonde mess?
Yeah, Lina, it did. And she kicked those bullies back to where the fuck they belong. I enjoyed that.
Conclusion! Even a bat needs some fun. Bullies deserved it. Time displacement, armed. Return vector, locked. Past subject, reinsert to origin point. Conscious access, erased. Subconscious payload, delivered. Passive-aggressive mean girls, deleted.
And if that one hit where it should, drop it in the comments. Tell us what social disease you want us to declare war on next, and next episode, you'll meet Lady Macabre. That one's going to bleed louder.
Passive-aggressive bullying, deleted.
If you like the show, hit subscribe, share it to anyone you think should hear it.
If you ever been silenced, manipulated, excluded, we are here for you. We are Venomous Sin.
And Venomous Sin declares war!
You are not alone.